You know, the weird thing about the Japanese N64 is that there's no really, truly expensive game. I think the most expensive game for the system is probably Get or Love, at about $200. But I want to show you a game called Dai Katana. I think some of the older hands watching this might know the infamous John Romero's Dai Katana, but this is actually one of the pricier games for the system. I'd say it's an uncommon game, going for about $50. You're a man out of the Japan, J Contra, by the way. You may remember Dai Katana. You had a big advertising campaign saying that John Romero was going to make you his B word. I want to say B word because I don't want YouTube to demonetize me because it's so early in the video here. Completely forgot about that. But yes, I don't know why Dai Katana was localized in Japan. But it was. This was supposed to be the greatest first-person shooter ever made. It's got a minigun, though, so it can't be that bad. Ion Storm gained great notoriety. They made some amazing games. I can't remember them now. I want to say, no, they hadn't made Quake. No, that was id, right? So what had John Romero made? I know they made some big games. Just what they are completely escapes me right now. Welcome to the world of Dai Katana. Multiplayer deathmatch, single play, multiplayer jewel quest. That's what you can look forward to if you pick up Dai Katana. Hexen. I remember seeing advertisements for this in Game Pro. Remember, if you are a younger viewer of this channel, there used to be magazines dedicated solely to video games. I don't know if there are even magazines anymore, although I'm surprised every once in a while. What is this? So you can see, I bought this at the Manga Soko in Eastern Oita. That's where I picked this up. It's telling you, here's your little thing. You can return it within a week. But yes, indeed, today, there are still magazines being made. I don't know about what, though. I don't know who is still buying magazines. Hexen, what is even this game about? Are the screenshots going to show me? I thought it was a racing game. See what's on the back of the box. It's sort of like a first-person game. You can do multiplayer things in it. I have completely forgotten everything about Hexen, despite seeing, I think, more advertisements for this game than I have any other game in my entire life. Ones that I remember, at least. Yes, that's Hexen. Putting that aside, here we've got a Tamagotchi game. Yes, back in the mid-1990s, Minna de Tamagotchi Warudo. This was did this come out before or after Pokemon? Let's see, this would have come out probably at least in 1996, so Pokemon would have been around the same time. Tamagotchis, I think Tamagotchis made a little bit of a comeback a couple of years ago, where they came in those little devices, sort of like Digimon. I don't know which one was first, though, if it was Digimon or if it was Tamagotchi. If you'd get a Tamagotchi, you would raise it. If you could get your hands on a Tamagotchi and you could raise it successfully. You see here, this is the little device that you'd raise your Tamagotchi on. This is Game de Hakken Tamagotchi Osuchi to Mesuchi. Oh, it's talking about the difference between male and female. How interesting. What is this? I don't know what this is. It's like a Game Boy game? I'm not entirely sure. So let's put this back in the plastic baggie. So I believe actually all N64 games originally shipped in a little plastic baggie. Whether this is original or not, I am not 100% sure. But if you are a completionist, I guess you could say in terms of your collecting, this would also need the Hagaki, which seems to be nowhere found. So what do you even do in this game? It's got multiplayer. I think I'd much rather play Pokemon Stadium if I were you. Although all the characters do look very cool. Very cute. In that late 90s aesthetic. Very basic drawings, but it is the basic drawings that I feel stand the test of time. So let's put away Tamagotchi. Did I ever have a Tamagotchi? No, I had a couple of Digimon. I had one that sort of looked like a walkie-talkie and one that looked like a brick wall. Those were my Digimon. I had the Pikachu, the Walker Pikachu. I actually think I had when I was teaching in Japan, I think I had one of the teachers I worked with she carried around one of those Pikachu. Carry Me Pikachu? I don't know I can't remember what it's called. Hey, what Pachinko World 64, by the way. Pachinko game's very sad, simply because here's the Hagaki that I mentioned in most of my videos. You would send this in to the company to perhaps win a prize, get entered into a drawing. It's sort of like a survey card where you fill out how you felt about the game. Don't use your sweaty hands when plugging the console in and out, perhaps because you've been playing too many Pachinko games. Let's see here. Hey, what Pachinko World? Do we get a look at any of the machines? Yes, here. But I think the other Pachinko games have better animations. I would say Pachinko World, this is one of the games that I actually have played. I wanted to put together a Pachinko review of all of the games that released for the N64, of which there were like 6 or 7. But it's just a very sad game. I don't like it. And you see here, this is classic Pachinko here, where it's got sort of a slot machine in the middle. It's got all those metal bars. If you remember in, Super Mario Sunshine, you will perhaps remember the Pachinko game there. That is classic Pachinko, where you shoot Mario up into a slot machine. That is what this is. And actually, it's not as the Super Mario one is actually not terrible, but you've got to only if you've done it 100 times and you play it in your 30s can you get through it. This is Pokemon Stadium Gold, Silver, and Crystal version. I don't know if there is a gold and silver only version. There's a bunch of different N64 Pokemon Stadium games. Beautiful, shiny cartridge label. It's actually in much better condition than I thought it was. Although you can tell on the edges the glue's starting to give way, but that's just going to happen. You can see here, this is the original Pokemon Stadium. Although it's labeled as Pokemon Stadium 2 because they actually included all of the Pokemon in this game. Whereas with the original Pokemon Stadium in Japan, they did not have all the original Pokemon game. They were just so thirsty to get the game out that they were just like, just put as many Pokemon in as you can, and we'll just release the game, and then we'll release another version anyway, and so people will buy the game twice. But which they did with Pokemon, Red and Green in Japan. So it made complete sense that they figured people would buy the same game twice. I mean, heck, I've got all the Pokemon versions, so I am also the fool. I've got 4 Pokemon Gen 1 games. You've got what? Red, green, blue, and yellow. Got all of them. Have I played all of them? No. Well, I've certainly put a little bit of time into each of them. I've only cleared green so far. Oh, is that like a tournament? Does this also have the mini games? I think I'm going to spit some hot fire here. You can agree or you can disagree with me. But I believe that the Pokemon Stadium mini games are the best part of Pokemon Stadium. And I think they are the things about Pokemon Stadium that hold up the most 25 years later. Yeah, let's compare it to Pokemon Stadium 2. This is not America's Pokemon Stadium 2. This is sort of like Pokemon Stadium 1.5 in reality. Yes, being able to transfer. So this is actually, there is a giant box version of Pokemon Stadium. I think the original Pokemon Stadium, by the way, that includes the transfer pack. A sort of perhaps forgotten technology where you could connect your Game Boy cartridge, your Pokemon cartridge, specifically with Pokemon Stadium, and you could trade your Pokemon over. Well, it's copy your Pokemon, I suppose, is the better word to use. You copy your Pokemon over, and you are able to use those Pokemon in the game. The transfer pack would also be used. I think there's like a James Bond game that came out, and maybe a Perfect Dark game. I might. What is? Oh, I didn't. I don't want to skip an insert here. What is this? Fantasy Cup, Nintendo Cup 99, Nintendo Cup 98. What is this? Kapu Betsu Shutsujo Kano Pokemon Ichiran Hyo. I don't know. What is this about? Is this the Pokemon that can appear in the game depending on which cup you're playing? How fascinating. Interesting. I guess I'm glad they at least included a list of all the Pokemon that you can play with. That's interesting. Should have checked if Mew was on that list. Still got a few more games to go through. We've got, 64 Hanafuda, Tenshi no Yakusoku. The Promise of the Angel. Very like weird 1990s anime looking faces here. I don't know what is up with that person's eyes. That eye also looks pretty unnatural, but that was anime back in the day. Yes, Hanafuda. Actually, very relevant for Nintendo because Nintendo got its start as a Hanafuda manufacturer. Hanafuda is a Japanese card game that I believe was quasi-introduced by the Portuguese. Strangely enough, actually, card games in Japan trace their lineage back to the first encounter with European foreigners, being the Portuguese, back in like the 1400s, I guess. And so Japan, when you think about like Pokemon cards and like, yeah, well, let's just talk about Pokemon cards. Pokemon cards are essentially the legacy of Japan's foreign contact with the West, with Europeans. So yeah, look at here. Look at these beautiful designs. Hanafuda cards. They actually, even today, Nintendo still makes like these kinds of Hanafuda cards, as well as like Mario themed Hanafuda cards. They are very beautiful. I don't understand that well how to play. But one of these days, I've played this a little bit. It's fun. It's interesting whenever you're playing a Hanafuda. There's a bunch of Hanafuda games out there, although I think it's probably better if you're playing one of the more recent ones. I don't know if there was ever one that came out for the Super Nintendo. The only Nintendo Hanafuda game that I can think of is for the N64, but I'm also not an expert on other consoles. This is the only one for the N64, by the way. Next we go to 64 Ozumo 2. A sequel to 64 Ozumo, where you create your own professional sumo wrestler and you work your way up. Interesting graphics. The first 64 Ozumo was like 96 or 1997, and so it's got very basic design. But then they really amped it up for 64 Ozumo 2. I remember the characters being a little bit more shiny. A little bit more. Let's see what is here. I don't know why there's a little girl on this screen. It's very, very odd. Very strange. Don't know what's going on there. Not many screenshots. That's unfortunate. Yeah, you see here. Look at how oily these dudes are. Look at how shiny they are. Very reflective. Don't know why that's the case. Don't remember them being that shiny in the original one. Animations are really fun. It's actually a pretty good game. Pretty good. I think this isn't even that expensive. It's maybe like 20 or 30 bucks today. Yes, let's put 64 Ozumo to the side. Get a little more game in here. Add a little bit more color to the background. We've got Gasp. Generation of Arts, Speed and Power. Fighters. Nextreme. Is this a side? Yeah, this is... Oh, okay. This is sort of like, you know, you didn't get Street Fighter on the N64, but you did get Gasp. You also got what? In Japan, Killer Instinct didn't come out. But for the N64 in general, there were a few fighting games. Not many. I still do Fist of the Flying Dragon, or whatever they localized it as. I think that would be my fighting game of choice. So we got a lot of inserts here, okay. Let's see, we got Hagaki, we've got No Sweaty Hands, and we've got the manual. Now, are we going to get beautiful art? No. A little bit. I wish they put more art into these old manuals. I feel like the best manuals are the ones with art and not ones that are just text on text on text. Very boring. If it doesn't have a lot of pictures in it, what is the point? Who is this? Yaigashi Kaoru. You've got what is this? Can't even read that scrawl there. Kiryuin Miki. Killer Congo. All right. Great anime designs here, by the way. This is sort of like peak 1990s anime, I want to say. Great designs as opposed to just the weird, like, compare these actually now, since we're doing it one-on-one. Compare these designs. I'm going with the design on the right. I'm going with this design, not this design. Not that this is wrong. It's not about right or wrong here. It's just about my personal preference. Although I feel like the people watching this video are probably going to agree with me. So let's put Gasp away. And actually, I think we could take a little bit of a break. Just showed off a bunch of games. How many is that? 4. That's like 9 games. So many games for the Japanese N64. And I still have a whole row of titles that I want to show you. See the little preview there. You can see all the games there. I still got all those to show you. And then I will have shown every single cartridge-based N64 game on this channel. I don't think anybody else has done that yet. I have been your man out of Japan, Jay Contra. If you'd like to support the channel, you can head over to patreon.com/JayContra, where you can get exclusive videos, as well as access to polls that help determine the future of the channel. Thanks for watching, and mahalo.